Hello, fellow gardeners. Welcome back to Soil Secret Studio. If you've struggled with slow compost piles, foul odors, or plants that just won't thrive despite your best efforts, today's episode is for you. Imagine transforming your kitchen scraps into nutrient-dense soil in just 2 weeks instead of months. That's Bokashi, an ancient fermentation method that unleashes a microbial army to turn waste into garden gold. Let's dig in. The compost revolution starts here. Traditional composting demands patience, months of waiting, the right ratios of materials, turning piles, and managing odors. Bokashi changes everything. It's not traditional composting, it's fermentation. While compost relies on aerobic decomposition with oxygen present, Bokashi works in an oxygen-free environment where specialized microorganisms ferment your scraps instead of rotting them. The result? Finished pre-compost in 10 to 14 days instead of 6 months. What you need. The 3 essentials. First, you need an airtight bucket. A standard 5-gallon food-grade bucket works perfectly, though many gardeners invest in specialized Bokashi buckets with a spigot for draining liquid. Second, you need Bokashi bran, wheat or rice bran inoculated with effective microorganisms. This is the secret ingredient you can't replicate at home. Quality bran smells sweet and earthy with visible particles. If it smells like ammonia or feels clumpy, it's degraded and won't work. Third, you need kitchen scraps. The beauty of Bokashi is that it accepts everything traditional compost rejects: meat, dairy, bones, citrus, materials that would sit for months or attract pests in a regular pile. The process is straightforward. Add 1 to 2 inches of chopped kitchen scraps to your bucket. Chop them to about dice size to increase surface area for faster fermentation. Generously sprinkle Bokashi bran over the scraps, covering all visible food waste with a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch layer. This coverage is essential. Now press down firmly with a plate or potato masher. This step is crucial because you're removing air pockets and releasing moisture. Fermentation thrives in liquid-rich, oxygen-free conditions. Repeat this process, scraps, bran, compress, until your bucket is full. You'll notice the smell turning slightly vinegary, which indicates fermentation has already begun. Seal the bucket tightly and store it in a cool, dark place for 10 to 14 days. A pantry, basement, or garage works perfectly. The temperature should ideally stay between 50 and 80 degrees, though Bokashi tolerates variation well. Don't open the bucket during fermentation. The anaerobic environment is doing its work. When you eventually open it, you might see white mold on the surface. This is normal and indicates active fermentation. Here's where the real magic happens. Bokashi bran contains specific beneficial microbes: lactic acid bacteria, photosynthetic bacteria, and beneficial yeasts, collectively called effective microorganisms. These aren't random bacteria. They thrive in oxygen-free conditions and actively dominate that space, out-competing harmful putrefying bacteria and pathogens. They ferment organic matter through a process called lactic acid fermentation, creating an acidic environment hostile to spoilage organisms. This is why your bucket smells pleasantly pickled instead of rotten. Beyond compost, the soil's superpower. This is where Bokashi differs fundamentally from traditional composting. Don't spread it on top of your beds like finished compost, bury it. When you bury fermented Bokashi 6 inches deep in your garden soil or add it to an active compost pile, 3 transformative benefits occur. First, accelerated nutrient availability. Traditional composting takes months because decomposition happens slowly with air present. Bokashi has already begun breaking down organic compounds into simpler, plant-available forms. When buried in soil with moisture and limited oxygen, decomposition accelerates dramatically. Nutrients that take 3 months to become available through traditional composting can be plant-available within weeks. Your plants access steady nutrition exactly when they need it. Consider maintaining 2 Bokashi buckets on rotation. While one ferments, you fill the second. This ensures finished Bokashi is always ready when you need it, maximizing nutrient recycling throughout the season. The Bokashi leachate, liquid draining from your bucket, is valuable. Dilute it at a ratio of 1 part leachate to 10 parts water and use it to water plants. This fermented tea is packed with beneficial microbes and organic acids. Gardeners consistently report improved plant vigor within weeks of starting regular applications. When burying Bokashi, place it at least 6 inches deep to prevent pests from digging it up and to ensure it remains in a fully anaerobic environment where decomposition continues rapidly. Bury it in planting holes, mix it into beds before planting, or add it to a passive compost pile where it dramatically accelerates surrounding decomposition. Bokashi represents a fundamental shift in how home gardeners think about waste and soil building. It combines speed, odor reduction, nutrient density, and pathogen suppression into one integrated system. Within weeks of starting Bokashi, you'll notice tangible improvements: faster plant growth, improved disease resistance, better soil structure, and the satisfaction of knowing you're recycling kitchen waste into your garden's future. Getting started is simple. Source quality Bokashi bran from reputable suppliers. Look for brands guaranteeing EM viability with good gardener reviews. Purchase or repurpose an airtight bucket. Begin your first fermentation cycle with this week's kitchen scraps. Within a season, Bokashi becomes as essential as watering and weeding. Your kitchen scraps are no longer waste. They're raw material for creating the most vibrant, productive garden you've ever grown. Subscribe to Soil Secret Studio for more evidence-based gardening strategies that work with nature. Share your Bokashi successes in the comments below. Together, we're building healthier gardens and a healthier world, one fermented bucket at a time.